Push the wrong button.
Yes, and it restarted my game. I just about finished.
This just in. Tammy's losing at her game. Hey, people of the grid. It's Monday, and we got a phone call last week from the RCMP, the police in Kelowna, where our bikes were stolen. They found one bike, and
Not mine.
Not Tammy's. They found Samantha's, little Sammy's bike. So they said, "Yep, you come on down and pick it up whenever you can."
And pick the winteriest day of the year.
Well, yeah, I mean, we're busy, so this is probably the best time for us to go. So we decided we're going to do a road trip. I'm right now in Invermere, British Columbia. We're supercharging. I'm working, so I've got a bunch of calls I got to do today. So as I get to superchargers, I'll do those calls, and then we'll just drive in between, and I'll get some work done.
I'm video gaming.
Tammy's here for the snacks. Yeah. So that's our adventure. It is extreme winter. We left at 5:30 this morning, bright and early, and slow going because there's so much snow on the road. It's icy. Some sections are dry and it's great. You can go normal speeds, but others are really bad. So we've given ourselves a lot of time. We're going to stay in Kelowna tonight. We'll pick up Tammy will go pick up the bike tomorrow while I'm working, and then later in the day we'll make the long trip back home. So that's the plan, and you're coming with us. Start your video games. Hey there, people of the grid. We're in Golden, BC. Golden, BC? Yeah. We're in Golden, BC. The roads here, not too bad. A little bit of snow covered, a little bit of bare roads, the usual fun winter driving in Canada. And we're charging. I've done a bunch of meetings. I got one more I got to do, so I'm going to hop on here in a second. This coffee shop here, one of our most popular ones, Tim Hortons, they closed. Middle of the afternoon, they're closed, and the sign says, due to lack of staff. So they're basically having trouble attracting people at probably minimum wage because people are getting benefits that probably allow them to exceed that, or there's actually better paying jobs in town, which hopefully that's the case. But I just can't help to feel for the person that, or people that own that business. They got to pay their lease every month. They got to pay for the space, and for half the day it's not open. And this is a very busy part of the highway. Like, everybody stops here for gas. They got in the gas station store all the usual road trip snacky snacks. It's a shame. Isn't it a shame, Tam?
It's a shame.
How's your video game time going?
Pretty good.
Pretty good?
It's a frustrating game.
Having fun?
Where's my water?
Having fun?
I like spending time with you, yes, dear.
I like spending time with you too.
Thanks.
Aww. All right, we are almost done charging. I've got one more call, and then we're going to hit the road, get to Revelstoke. I think we're going to get to Kelowna a little bit late, mid-evening, around 8 o'clock-ish. So it'll be dark, but we'll see.
Still hot tub time.
Still hot tub time.
That's the only reason I come, really.
We'll see if we can grab some video of the road. It's so pretty out here with the snow covered everything.
Still though.
Yeah, not fun driving in some of the places, but cars doing it like a tank. Okay, I gotta run. Catch up with you in a bit. Wow, that smoke and flame over there. I don't know if you could see it in the video. I was trying to get it. That's crazy, hey?
Yeah. I've never seen it up close like that. It is a controlled burn.
It's a controlled burn. We're 99.9% sure they're burning off, what, pine beetle trees, or?
They're just, they usually burn off like rows so that if a fire hits.
For fire control.
Yeah, it'll stop at those lines.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Like, to see it burning that high from the highway, that's
crazy.
That's not good.
Yeah, looks like they did a whole long line.
All right.
It's always scary to see fire in the forest.
Isn't it nice out there, you guys? Like, look at all this snow cover. It's beautiful.
It's much nicer now that the Roads are clear.
Yeah, it is. There's nobody out here. I wonder why.
Yeah.
It's like totally covered with snow. There's the odd truck, there's the odd car, but it sure is. There's the odd car, there's the odd truck, but it sure is snowy and eerily quiet.
I play my games so I don't have to focus on the road. Mike does that.
Car's doing good. We got winter tires. It's all-wheel drive. You know the Tesla deal. It handles really well. I can unweight it. I can make it skid if I want, but for the most part, it's sticking to the ground.
That's good.
And I'm keeping the rubber side down like you're supposed to.
That's God.
How's your walk?
It's a little chilly, but it's nice. The river's
Nice?
Yeah, the river's nice. It's moving fast. Under a bridge down by the river.
This is the town of Revelstoke. We're supercharging. Next stop is Vernon.
Or Kelowna.
Well, Vernon's where we're gonna have supper. And then next stop after that is Kelowna, where the hot tub lives. And our stolen bike, which we'll get tomorrow.
One of them, maybe two. I hope that we go in and they're
This
like,
is-
oh, we found another one.
That would be great.
Or 5.
I don't know where we'll put them in the car, but we'll figure it out. It's a lot to go through for one bike, but
Yeah.
it's
Nice
nice.
to hang out with you.
Yeah, and I get all of my winter driving training at the beginning of winter, so I'm set. I am set. It's cold and windy in Revelstoke. Well, we're back in the car. It's tough convincing Tammy to go for a little walk, but it was worthwhile because you know what we found? What did we find? We found a Starbucks.
It's not the only reason I go. It was fun once we
Found a
started.
Starbucks, so it was awesome. We're back in the car. We got plenty of charge. We are now headed for Vernon, where we'll grab some dinner, charge up a bit, and then hopefully get into Kelowna somewhere around 8 o'clock-ish or a little later, whenever. But that gives us lots of time to hit the hot tub, so
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah.
And it wasn't too cold. It's
In the wind, it got chilly.
It's
but
minus 3 degrees Celsius, which I don't know what that is
the wind was cold.
in Fahrenheit, but yeah, the wind was cold. It was a little bit chilly. It was a nice walk. It's very nice. Barely anybody out. The weirdest thing, here in Revelstoke, everybody who isn't driving a car is riding a bike. Like in the middle of what is winter, they're riding bikes.
We probably encountered, what, 6 people?
Yeah.
More than we're walking, that's for sure.
So it's getting dark. We'll get some video of the road here before it gets too dark, and then part 1 of our bike rescue adventure will be over. And tomorrow, if everything goes well, part 2, where we actually pick up the bike, we'll take off then. So we'll catch up with you most likely tomorrow, maybe later tonight. If not tonight, have a good night. Hope you guys are doing well. Bye now. grid. Part 2 of our rescue the bike mission. So we're just having breakfast. I'm gonna run into the local RCMP station where they've got the bike and ask them if they have any of the other bikes. We'll look around. We're hoping that maybe Tammy's is there. We'll see. And then I'm gonna load it up. I'll come back here, get Tammy, and we'll start making our way back home. Same thing as yesterday. Got a bunch of meetings, so I'll be doing those as we're charging. And we'll probably get home late tonight.
Yeah.
What are you gonna say? You're gonna hot tub. Tammy's gonna get one more dip in the hot tub here. The hot tubs are outside in the snow.
It's so nice.
Last night it was really nice. It was very relaxing. Lots of snow out here.
I didn't expect that.
No. Well, hey there, people of the grid. We got one bike, only one bike. It's not even the bike that we lost. I mean, it is. It's the frame. The tires are different. The seat is different. I think they even swapped the handlebars, or they just scratched them up really bad. They got tape all over it.
So heartbreaking.
Our beautiful mountain bike tires with the cassette switcher gone. They got these spindly street tires. I think what they do is they part it off, right? So you take the stuff you can make more money from, like the tires, if they're really good, which they were. So
it's just heartbreaking.
it is heartbreaking. So we're not going to be keeping this bike. We're going to sell it.
Yeah.
Your bike is still missing, so
we've replaced. And so's Amelia's.
We've replaced the kids'
Melissa's.
bikes. The only bike we haven't replaced, bought a new one that is Tammy's. And
now we realize we don't want them back because they're not the
no,
same.
I mean, that's the thing. If your stuff gets stolen, ideally, best case scenario, you've got insurance that covers it completely, which is never the case because insurance is not set up that way. So you'll never get the same item back, but you might get 80% of it. Anyways, so that covers that. If you get the thing back, usually it's being trashed to a point where you don't even want to have it anymore, which is the case with this. So we had a nice trip to Kelowna.
Yep.
And we got to see what winter driving out here is like. It's treacherous. I wouldn't recommend it unless you really, really have to do it, or you got a lot of time, so you can just take your time. It's doable. It's totally doable. Just take your time. Yeah, crime is bad.
Yeah, it makes me angry.
I guess the other thing to do is record the serial numbers of the stuff you do get, because then if it gets found, it's easier to locate. This one we did have the serial number for. I think 3 of the bikes we had serial numbers for. So
yeah, Ethan's and mine were older, and we just didn't have
I
them.
mean, you just don't keep receipts for like more than 4 years ago. So we're wondering what it's going to be like. That roads on this side of the mountains were worse than in Alberta. Like, I don't know, they don't.
So it's different.
It's different. They don't salt the roads. They don't gravel them the way we do. They throw some kind of sand on them, which it helps. But yeah, there were some spots, and I think it's because the roads were dry and warm. They got this wet snow that came down, froze overnight, and then they got more snow on top. So it's like this, we call it black ice. You can't see it. The road surface is frozen, and then you get snow on top of that. It just makes for a slip slidey adventure.
Yep. Glad I wasn't driving, that's for sure.
So we're going to take our time. We're going to, like I said, I got work to do today too, so we're not going to get home until close to midnight tonight, our time, but that's okay. We're going to enjoy the view, get some work done, and hang out together. Maybe we'll have a nice freezing cold hike again while the car charges.
I'm going to play Animal Crossing.
Well, that wraps up our driving to Revelstoke. We just pit stopped here. We had lunch, had a couple of meetings. Car is pretty much full, and we're ready for our next leg, carrying on to Golden, and then there's a long detour over to Invermere and Canmore. and then the run for home. So it's still going to be a late night, but we've got a movie to watch. We got a walk that we're going to do later, and the drive's been going great, even with the Thule box on. So I've got our snowboards all loaded up. All of our snowboarding gear is in the back. Samantha's bike is now in the back. Even with all of that stuff, we're still getting some great range. Car is performing like a champ because it's a Tesla. Public service announcement. When you plug these back in, they're in the winter, these hoses, they get so stiff that you put them in, you think you put it in, and just the wind can blow and it'll fall down on the ground. You don't want to let that happen because it'll fill up with snow, that'll turn to ice, and then people can't charge. So what I do, and I'll try and show this with one hand, is I kind of twist the cable so that it kind of sits on itself and then it holds itself into that slot. So it's something like this. I use my foot. So I push the cable the other way, and then when I put it in, it sits, and see it's kind of holding itself. The cable actually holds itself in place by the attach point, and then the cable is resting in two spots on the body of that thing. It's a Canadian thing. It probably happens in the US too, but you don't want those hose ends falling on the ground. So do that for your fellow Tesla drivers. Thanks.